Hey tribe, hey, happy Thursday. Don't mind my hair. I'm working on it. I'm creating a style. But anyway, I've been. It's been a couple of days. I wanted to jump in and just give my unasked for 2 cents about the whole Kirk Franklin deal. This water hasn't been clear before, guys. I've never been over here. I mean, we've had those storms. It's like 3 or 4 different places I make my rounds when I'm running or doing whatever, just getting my time outside near the water. So it's really clear. That looks like an anchor or something. I don't know. Anyway. So I was listening to here, I'll let you all see the view. You don't need to see me. I was listening to Kirk Franklin on Cam Newton's show. And it was hard to listen to. I don't know. His voice just irritates me. It does. And it's just that church stuff, how he just, I guess it's just inbred since he's been in there so long, and the way that he just talks. And it's just like, okay, there's the ships, guys. It's like all that church talking, you know what I'm saying? But I know he can't help it. I mean, and who cares if it irritates me? I'm just sharing. Cause my comments, they're out here for all the sailboats, guys. So I'm listening, and like, okay, I can't do that voice. So it was like 2, almost 3 hours, I think. And when they start cutting it up and putting out the little clips, and so on this clip he was talking about his mother, and man, the courage, kudos for the courage that took, to say that, because I mean, I'm not a forgiveness person. I'm not all those things. It's like when you understand being out of order with yourself, I mean, who do you want forgiveness for? Like, you were out of order. You should have never been up in that person's face who you're trying to get forgiveness from, or who you feel like owes you an apology or forgiveness or stuff like that. From what I've seen, it's just like the more you come into yourself, you understand that all that's not necessary. So now if somebody wants to give it to you because, that's just their way, that's the way we've been taught. And even though I know, like way, 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 way better, that stuff's not necessary, I'll still use it. So, it's really no big deal like that. It's a big deal in the beginning, because when you're transitioning into yourself, you want to have all of that freedom and not continue to lock yourself into positions that don't make no sense. When you're in your right life and in your I know, no one needs to apologize. I mean, what's happening in your life is what you agreed to happen in your life spiritually, for your own spiritual lesson. So when things start happening to that degree that you feel someone owes you something, an apology or whatever, or you feel like something that someone's done to you, is now creating you into this person, is now getting between you and yourself, that's when it's time for you to get that mirror out and start doing the work. It's like you couldn't see the offense unless something in you needed to be offended. And that's the real thing. It's like that's what has to be changed and fixed. It's not the person who's offending you. Anyway, let me get back to this, because it's taken me days to say it. I appreciate that it's taking days to say it, because anyway, I made a comment, bravo Zulu, standing ovation for Kirk. for saying that about his mama. Somebody, some woman, and I don't mind talking to her if she wants to jump on a Zoom and let's talk about it. I really don't want to talk to people who are trying to defend something. We got it. Two things can't exist at the same time. A black woman can be a good mother, and a black woman can be a bad mother. Of the 85% of households that are led by black women, some of those households are good and some of those households are bad, and some of those households are in the middle. So we got it. I just don't understand what people want when they jump in and say, you know, I'm commenting about Kirk and his experience with his mother. That's it. And that I'm glad he had the courage to say it. That black men, to me, I haven't seen black men where they just really take black women off of the pedestal and just let black women know who they really are to them. You know, yeah, we see where you can say it's disrespectful and stuff like that. However, that level of disrespecting a black woman or having no value for a black woman, I mean, that's still basically the black man saying he's just fed up. He's just fed up. And he's not going to say it to his mama. He's not going to call his mama those kind of names. Although, if you would just look at what the black woman who he's talking about, that's your mama. She's the same woman. You just don't want to say it because psychologically and everything else and whatever is in you, it just isn't going to do that to a black woman. So you just absorb all of that BS from a black mother, and then you just take it out on the black women because you're definitely not going to say it to your black mama. So I just give kudos for Kirk for, like, you know, that woman in my face as a grown man played me, and I just had enough. I blacked out and I said what I needed to say to her husband. I mean, Kirk's 50 some years old. I think he said he happened when he was 30, so maybe she was still 50. I guess she was his age, I don't know. But he's like, come on now, just come on. You know, if, like, I'm not going to say words that he didn't say because that's his mother. However, you look at the young women that are around here, and they're doing the same thing. They're having all these kids by different fathers. They're having problems with the men that they choose. The kids are here, there, everywhere, given out to other people, aborted, given up for adoption, foster care, great grandmama come in, and big mama. I mean, I was saying, I'm more mad at big mama than anything. I'm telling you. I mean, I just don't understand how you can raise a raggedy ass child and all this damage is done to your grandbaby in some kind of way. You go back to the grandparents, and the grandparents are you know, being canonized as saints. Where did all that come from? Your mama had a raggedy mama and daddy, and then she turned her ragginess that she learned, instead of healing and trying to find herself in her way, she turned that ragginess on you. But then you got so much admiration for Big Mama. Big Mama is sometimes sitting in the position where nobody can even do their healing because of Big Mama. Because no one wants to tell what was really done. And then when you try to tell what's really done, then you get torn down or put down or whatever, you know. Or sometimes it's just like, it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it to say anything. So it's like, okay, I just won't say anything. You know, I'm just going to take it like I always have. And then I'm going to carry it on the inside. And then we're wondering why we have the issues and problems that we have, you know, in our bodies and stuff like that. But anyway, I just wanted to, I'm like, can the man just speak? Can he just say what his experience was without having to back away from it? And he did. It's like when Cam Newton said this is my opinion, when Cam Newton said back to him what he said, it hit him some kind of way, and then he started backpedaling on, oh, well, my mom's a good mom. She's a good black woman, And it's like, no, she's not. No, she wasn't. No, she ain't. And she needs to take this lesson. You tried to give it to her. You tried to settle all those things with your mother out of the public eye, and it still came out in the public eye. You had to get it out, just like he said, with what little bit he has left, he's not going to give it to that woman. And that woman had enough grace, long enough grace, where she still is, like he said, 2 DNA tests. I mean, your story's not adding up. And so that's really where the heart comes. I'm like, what is so going on with a black woman that she can't just tell the truth and let her children know how raggedy she was so that the children can be set free? I mean, like you're the mama. You're the mama. What do you need to protect about yourself? Or so what? Let your kids say what they want to say about their experience with you. What can it do but give you information so you can look and say, hey, you know what? Yeah, I was that. You don't have to confess all in front of your kids if you don't want to. Like I told you all, I made that mistake. I told my kids everything I did and wasn't, and that traumatized them even more, which I learned later on. However, I just wanted them to know that it wasn't them, that the trifling ass way that I was for the 10 years of their life wasn't right, and it wasn't their fault. It wasn't because of them. It wasn't nothing. It was because I did not do what I needed to do. For whatever reasons. I was dumb, I was stupid, I was a coward, I was trifling, I was this, I was that, I was this, whatever. It's no excuse and no reason. None. Just none. And like, that's a gift. You can't give that gift. I just don't understand not being able to give. And I don't need to understand, so that's just a figure of speech. Being able to give the gift to your children, where when they're begging you to, hey, I'm hurting really bad, and it's because of you. Like, yeah, baby, it is. What's going on? Share it with mama, and then let the baby say what they need to say. And then if you need to go to therapy, if you needed this, if you needed that, if you need to go check yourself into the hospital for a 72-hour hold because you can't believe this baby said this about you, that about you, and you did everything. Mama, this ain't your time. This isn't your time. When your children come to talk to you about how trifling your ass was, or whatever you did to them or said to them or hurt them, nobody wants to hear your story. It's not your time, and it's not for your kids to hear. It's for you to listen and have sympathy, empathy, compassion, love, caring, and nurturing for one damn second in your life. It's not about you. Can you just do that? Black women, can you just do that? Can the women who hear whatever someone says about a black woman, and then you got to jump in and tell it's not all black women. They're black women. Look, you aren't getting no rewards because you picked Ray Ray or whoever, Pookie, Ray Ray, whoever, for your man. It could even be Arnold, John, or Henry for your man. You pick a man that now you feel like you shouldn't have picked. And now you have these children. Or you picked 1, or 2, or 3, or 4. You consistently, because you didn't work on yourself, you consistently pick the same kind of man because you can only see what you know. You couldn't see. If the best man for you in your whole life was standing there, I promise you would pick the wrong one. Because you haven't done the work on yourself to be able to pick a good one. And then you do the same thing all over again. I mean, some of these young black men that I give so much credit to are saying, I should have never been the head of the family. Why is my mom calling me little man? Why is my mom telling me at 5 years old I'm the head of the family? Why is my mom accepting me going out and getting this drug money so we can have food or whatever? First of all, why did my mama have all these kids? This one young man was like, I am mentally traumatized because I got 8 brothers and sisters. He's trying to be in junior college to get a football scholarship to just get somewhere with his life, and he can't because daggone it, his mother has all these kids, and he's thinking about if he's here at school, is his little brother eating? Now, if this woman wasn't your mother and she was just one of these women out here, you would call her every name that she is, having everybody's baby, doing the same thing every 2 years or 1 year, sometimes having those Irish twins that are, 9 months, and you're having another baby, and then you're making your child your husband in every way except for having sex with him, and he's carrying all that weight. It's like, damn. And then on top of that, when he finally can say, hey, that shit hurt like hell, and it caused me to be off my path. And I understand that nothing should have ever caused me to be off my path, however it did. And now I'm just laying my shit down and everyone else's shit down. I'm not carrying anyone else's bags. I'm not carrying anyone else's stuff. Your mama was trifling. I was trifling. He was trifling to his son, because he even admitted how trifling he was to his son. Although his son, I'm like, come on, baby. I mean, you cannot come up in my face at 36 years old and post what I said to you online. You can't. Because I'm just going to be like, okay, I get your trauma, but some of these things you can't act like a 2-year-old. So his son, on that one, I'm calling that one on that one. You should have never done that. Now, if you wanted to go on a show just like your dad did and said, hey, my mom, 2 DNA tests, come on now. You want to say my dad curses me out, does this and that, then just do that. That's fine. But to record a conversation and do all that stuff, now see, you got to own that stuff. Because you still, even when you're hurt, you still are your age. And you cannot be mad at someone else for what they aren't. Your mama wasn't a mama because she wasn't shit anyway. She didn't know how to be one. She didn't have the wherewithal to figure out how to be one, all of that stuff. And I'm included in that. I didn't look to see how to be a good mama. I didn't go help to be a good mama. I didn't do nothing. I just was a piece of shit. I was trash. And I wouldn't have stopped being trash unless I went to counseling. And the lady told me in no uncertain fashion that your ass is getting ready to be put in jail if you touch those kids one more time. If you spank those kids one more time. I'm like, shoot, I don't see nothing wrong with it. I got spanked. Spanked my kids the same way I got spanked. And I done heard lots of stories of people who got spanked worse. What's the problem? The problem is, I know about it now, the counselor. And your ass is going to jail in no uncertain terms. I'm the advocate for these children. And from there, I yielded to that. I didn't buck up. I didn't say, well, this and that. I mean, I'm telling you, maybe a year? I don't know. Might be in a year ago. So my mom said something out her mouth where she's like, her life was messed up and it's my fault. I just asked her, how? I had nothing to do with you laying up with my dad. I had nothing to do with you making a baby. I just had nothing in it. It must have been a day for her. It's okay. We're straight with each other. I wouldn't mind having her on the show. We're straight with each other. You know, things are going to come up and it just doesn't bother me anymore. If I feel like answering, I'm going to answer. If I don't, I don't. Like I told her, it's just a ludicrous point at this point to try to be anything to me and me to try to be anything to you. It's just nothing in there, in me. that wants to be anything to do with you. It's just not. Why? Why would I? However, the spiritual connection that we have, that's the bomb part. My mom's just, she knows she's something else in the spiritual realm. And sometimes you got to just take, you just got to take what you got in real good spiritual friend of mine. She said that to me. She's like, what would you have been if you were a good mother to your kids? I'm like, oh yeah, just watch the Kardashians. That's me. I just wanted my kids. I would have been the mother. I would have messed my kids. Think about it. I would have messed my kids. I messed my kids up anyway by being a trash mother. And then I messed my kids up by being that kind of Kardashian mother. You know, it's like your kids weren't meant to sit up under you like that. They weren't meant to do that. That's abusive also. That wasn't meant. Your kids are meant to kiss you goodbye and go on about their life and spread their wings. They're not meant to be the solution to your troubled decisions that you made. I mean, it's not. It's just not, man. So anyway, back to Kirk and back to black men. I just hope that from this that just more and more black men start speaking up and telling their story about how tragic and hurtful and terrible it was to be raised in these 85% black households, you know? And then, I mean, I could in love tell you to shut up. Like, just shut up. Change the channel. Don't make no comment. Go somewhere else with your good friends who you all are all good mamas. No one's talking about you. Do you really want the black women who are ready to lay down their burdens and fix the situations with their children? Even if they can't fix the situation with their children, they can fix it with themselves, so they're no longer doing harm to the world and things like that, so that they can have a good life for what life they have left, and that they could have a good life so that if their child decides to come back to them and have the conversation, they'll have some damn sense and know how to know how to listen, and know how to be available for all the stages. Just like you have stages of grief, you're going to have stages of being able to talk to your parent, your mother, your grandmother, whoever your parent was, about the bullshit that they did to you in your life. You know, I didn't expect when my kids first came out that they would be like, oh, mother, yes, you were a horrible mother. And the love of God helps me forgive you. However, I got this list that I would like to review with you about the things that I would have done differently or gotten some help on so I could be better mother. They're not going to do that. They're going to be mad, hurt, crying, different things, in, out, in, out, in, out. And it's like, just take it. Just take it. Just take it. And you'll know when to shut it down. I've had to shut my kids down a couple of times, and I've had to put them on timeout because they just went too far. I'm just like, I'm helping you because you're disrespecting yourself now. I don't have a problem with you disrespecting me. I have a problem with the fact that you need to understand, by disrespecting yourself, where else in the world are you going to be able to go? So you're doing damage to yourself while you're trying to talk about the damage that was done to you. So you need to go get some help, and I can't help you because the person who abused you cannot help you. I can't help you. I can't. The only thing I can do is make it worse. You do not talk to the person who abused you, hurt you, just basically messed your whole life up. You don't talk to them and try to fix it. You come to get, look, I just need some information. This is how I remembered it. Two things can exist at the same time. I just need to know this and that, or I just need to say it. I just need to whatever, you know? And that's it. Now I'm a bounce. And just expect it to take forever. And just be okay. Like don't re-injure your children mentally, spiritually, emotionally by blackmailing them with they gotta make up with you in a certain time. If you're in the hospital and about to die, just please carry your ass on and just go ahead and die. Like, just please. Like, don't do that to your child where they're carrying a burden where they feel like they sold themselves out because they came running because you were sick in the hospital. And I just recently learned this a couple years ago. I wasn't looking at it that way, but then I'm just like, I'm not a deathbed confession person either. So just don't ever come to me. Don't ever come to me, ever. When you had opportunity to come to me when it was good, just stay over there. So like I said, I didn't realize that. I didn't understand that at the time. However, it's like I'm not going to understand everything at every moment. However, when I find myself in that position, then I'm quick to change. Or quick to just be in the bed. I only allow myself 3 days to be in the bed, and then we got to go call. Well, I'm not going to call the doctor. I'm just going to drive myself and check myself into the mental hospital and be like, I can't. I just need some of that medicine, so I won't even remember my name for 3 days because this is just too much. I haven't had to do that yet. I've gotten close to the door, and then my spirit's like, go, just lay your soap opera drama behind down in the bed and just take your medicine. Just take it. I mean, you got to allow those feelings to flow through you, or else how would you know to change? How would you know that shit was wrong? How would you know anything? You wouldn't know. So kudos to Kirk Franklin for speaking up. Of course, my heart goes out to him with that level of pain. What's his name? His son's name. My heart goes out to his son. You can tell his son is gifted and talented. I don't use mental illness for excuses. If you have mental illness and you cannot take your medicine and do the treatment plan, then you need to go sit in a hospital until you can. You don't need to be out here with the regular folk at all trying to get a pass. Because we all have something. We can all, I promise you, the APA has a setup that they even have, if you go to a psychiatrist and say that you hear God talking to you, that has a CPT code, and they can write that in your chart and then get paid from the insurance on it. Because that's a mental illness. Talking to God is a mental illness. Saying that you hear God is a mental illness. Look it up. DSM-5, TR, look it up. It's in there. So we can all do that. What we got to be able to do is, hey, you know what? No matter what has happened in my life, chosen at some points, unchosen at other points, I refuse to be the type of human being that's going to spread destruction, heartache, hurt, and pain around the world just because I feel like something was done to me. Something was done to you. I got it. Something was. It was. I'm sorry. It was. For if your mother won't apologize to you, let me apologize to you. I'm so sorry, baby. I was trash. I love you. It was not your fault. I love you, and I'm willing to listen to what you have to say. We just have to do things decent and in order. If you are so angry that you feel like you're physically going to do something that's going to go against yourself, then stay away from your mom and your dad, your sister and your brother. Stay away from everybody. Why are you sitting up under there? You are not the black sheep of the family because you stay away from the crazy people you were raised with. You're not. You're smart. You're supposed to do that. That's healthy. What's unhealthy is when people want to try to say and use Bible scriptures and religion and everything like that. They use those things to say, hey, you have to do these things. You have to forgive. I don't know. I'm not a Christian and I'm not involved in all that. But if someone had told me to get to heaven, I got to forgive my mom, I'm just like, excuse me, can we talk? Why you, creator, didn't create her not to be like that, then we wouldn't be here in the first place. So I'm the person who gets punished. I'm the person who goes to hell. Bet I'm gone, because this is no apologies coming from my mouth. And my life is going to be wonderful and beautiful because I don't have to honor my mother and father. Be honorable and I'll honor you. And that's one of the things that black women are riding on. you're a black queen, you're this, you're black, you created the universe, you did all. No, your ass didn't. One black woman did that. Not all of you all. You're descendants like the rest of us. You don't get to wear a crown for something that, what, you make babies? What, you can lay down and make babies? That's not shit. That's not nothing. Being able to procreate impressed me with you never could have a baby and then all by yourself without a man you make a baby. That's impressed me, and it's not even impressive because they said a long time ago that's how it used to be. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just saying you don't get to get on a pedestal and stay on a pedestal and be all kind of ways. If you don't have queenly ways, you can't be treated as a queen. If you don't have the ways of love, the fruit, just look up what's the fruit of love. If you don't have those things, you can't get what those things bring to you. It's like you're trying to get paid as a doctor and you never went to medical school. You're just saying, I'm a black woman and I know that I create the universe, so I'm gonna get up in here and be a surgeon and be making 7-8 figures. Come on. Just stop it. Just stop. Just stop for the love of love. If you love yourself, love and have enough room for your children to express their unhealthy, trifling life with you, and sit there and shut up and listen to them and learn something. And then when it's time, that's why you need a counselor, a therapist to help you, because you could even say you're sorry and it's wrong. You could even offer, hey, let's go to counseling, we can fix this, and it's wrong because, Dad, you had control of me for all these years, and then you did wrong, and then now when I come up to you, now you want to have suggestions. This isn't no suggestion box. You need to just sit there and shut the hell up and let me tell you how you hurt me. And if I need to say it 1,000 times, I'm going to say it 1,000 times. Now, if it gets to the point where you're like, you know what, baby, I've heard this 1,000 times. I love you. I love myself. So the 1,001 time I'm not available for. And then let them go on their way and talk to their counselor, and their counselor be like, yeah, you said it more than enough. Now you need to sit and do this work, and you need to leave your mother alone. Don't worry about Christmas, Thanksgiving, whatever. Don't worry about if your mother co-signs what happened to you or what did. She was batshit crazy anyway. She didn't know what was happening. Oh, what is that? She didn't know what was happening. Oh, let me catch that. That's cool. What is it? She didn't know what was happening or anything, so she just did stuff. I wonder what that is in the water. She just did stuff. So she doesn't even know what's going on, So it's like you can't look to her to be anything or do anything to you, for you, because she doesn't even know what to do. That's so cool. I don't even know what it is. Because she doesn't even know what to do. She doesn't even know what happened. The truth is what you know is true. And then you put yourself in the best possible position so that you can get the healing and stuff that you need for yourself. Because I'm telling you, once it's all over, once you said your sad song 1,000,000 times and looked at it and everything else, what you're going to realize is that you've done more damage to yourself than anyone could have done, because you have the ability in you that even when something tragic and horrific is happening in your life, you can still be the spiritual being that you were created to be. And you never have to hurt anyone or do to others what happened to you or create these lies based on your trauma. You don't even have to heal from it. You just know as a spiritual being that's not your truth, and you know what your truth is, and you stand in it, you live in it, and you create a life in it. And once you understand that you could have done that from day one, and you didn't have to take this slow route all the way around and have all these things happening to you, I'm telling you, it's something when you realize that you chose your life. You chose yourself. You chose this spiritual experience. You chose these horrible, tragic things. You chose to participate in them because your spirit doesn't see it that way. Your spirit's trying to get something to you that's more and greater. And that's the true place that you really want to be at. Not in your mother's lap, not in your father's lap, not blaming this person or that person or that person or this person or whatever, not wasting another second on a life where a human being, where you're the same human being, because you may not have done that, but you've done something that you could have looked over and said, man, why did I do that? That didn't make no sense. Oh, I did that because this and that. Well, okay, well, someone else is saying the same kind of stuff. It just makes no sense. It's like, start your journey. Start your healing journey, of course, wherever you want to. Start your healing journey, of course, wherever you want to. That's fine. It is no problem. I'm just sharing with you that there's an opportunity where you don't even have to be in that kind of space, where you can just be like, I just know I need to heal my spirit. My soul is crying out for something else. I don't know what it is. I'm opening myself up for the ancestors to help me, or however you want to say it, or, whatever spiritual stuff you want to say. I'm offering myself, opening myself up to myself so I can know and understand myself, so I can be about my own business, which is seeing who I am spiritually and the things that I need to know and grow to. And again, for the black men, the young black boys who just had all this trauma coming for their mother, and they have protected and done everything, let me tell you, baby, the best thing to do for healing for all of us black men is for you to start speaking up about what was done to you, to your black mother, so you can start healing. And no, we're not trying to lay everything at a black mother's feet, but the statistics show that 85% of these households are led by black women. So what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want when it's 85%? You all are producing these men that are hurt and troubled and everything on all kind of levels, and then you have nerve enough to reject them. I was just listening to Dear Future Wifey, and he was interviewing the gentleman named Boom Gang or whatever, Boom Gang, whatever his name is. And he was just saying how his mother would just haul off and hit him in the mouth. And it hurt him so bad. And he just wanted to unalive her. And, he didn't. But it's like, you can't be hitting on those boys like that and expect them not to want to hit and hurt you back. So these kind of things make sense. Don't try to mistreat somebody and then you want to shut them up. So those mothers who basically didn't get hit and all those things like that, and you have the opportunity for your son, like Kirk Franklin did, to just talk, then let them talk and stop interjecting. Stop interjecting. Just let them talk. It can't do nothing to you. If you've done your work, or you're in the process of doing your work, you want people to talk. You want them to talk about the experiences that they had with your trifling ass, so that all of you all can get better. I mean, my stuff is out there. I got enough videos calling myself out. It would be shocking if somebody could come call me out on some shit. It would be. And if they did, I'd be like, if it's true, it's true. I mean, up to my ex-husbands, my kids, whatever, my grandkids, whatever, everyone's friends, used to be friends, whoever. I mean, I can have the conversation, and that's what I'm trying to say. When you know where you are now and you know who you are now, you can have these conversations with people. And it still comes down to, that's your truth, and this is my truth. I don't have to do nothing with your truth, and you don't have to do nothing with my truth. If you just want to say your truth to me, I don't have to co-sign it or amen it or whatever. If I want to, I can. If I don't want to, I don't have to. And that's what you got to understand. It's like each person is telling them their own truth, and setting themselves free. And by the definition of doing that and setting yourself free, you should not be still sitting up in my face trying to get anything from me. You accomplished what you wanted to accomplish. You told me what I was and what I wasn't. That's good. I appreciate it. I'm glad you got it out. Now you got to be on your way to do your journey, because you don't just get to stop in front of whatever person you decide and just keep on saying stuff. It's just like, okay, I got it, but why are you still here? Stranger danger. Get away from that person who's not good to you. Or if you want to continue to be around that person, heal yourself to the point that you can. And then the person who's on the other side, it's a gift. It's a gift that the person is willing to still be around you. Take that responsibility and hold it as a precious jewel, and don't allow that person to interact in levels of relationship with you that's going to be detrimental and hurtful to them. And that's what I've talked to one of my daughters about. It's like, it's not that I don't want everything that you're willing to give me now. I'm so happy to have it. However, it's wrong to accept a gift that's stolen when you know the person is just in their healing phase where they're willing to clean out their bank account and give you all that money. Don't take it. Or if it's like, okay, I gotta take it because, then put it in a savings and investment account, so when they come back and they're mad because they gave you all that, you can be like, here you go, baby. I done double, triple, quadrupled your money because I knew you weren't in the right space to give me that gift. You weren't in the right space to give me that level of love and care and attention and concern, because that needed to be on you first, to heal yourself first. And that's going to take some time. Take some time to heal yourself. If our relationship is never settled, ever, then the beautiful thing about it is that, the sky looks so pretty. The beautiful thing about it is that I got to see you stand in your own truth. Stand in your own knowing of yourself. Else ever can do that to you again, because you know yourself, you know your truth, you know who you are, you love yourself, you walk in your I know, and that there's no titles. My friend and I used to say, no titles, no titles. We don't care what your title is. You have to act right. You have to act right and be right, or you can't be over here. Don't bring your title and your messiness over here. Mama, dad, or sister, brother, uncle, auntie, whatever, boss, manager, supervisor, whatever. You cannot act that kind of way around me. You have to be somewhere else and act that kind of way. And I have every right for when I put my arms out on both sides, that 6 feet of space, that's a spear all the way around you, 360 all the way around, under, over, all that, like you're standing in the middle of a ball. That's my spiritual space. That's my space. That's my space where my at operates in. And that's where I get to be. So again, shout out, kudos to Kirk Franklin, his son, all the black men who are now speaking out. I wish we can have a 1,000,000-man march where it's 1,000,000 stories, like on those quilts, like they just, from, like I've been there on the Capitol Hill and all that, where you go all the way down, all the way up on Capitol Hill, come all the way down, where there's like a huge quilt, and in each quilt is stories of black men and how they were traumatized by these black mothers. And anyone can come walk along and peel it out and read it, because it may not be your exact story, or your child may not have ever been able to speak up, but you're ready to heal and you don't want to traumatize your child anymore. So you just want to get that healing done yourself. And you reading these stories, you hearing things like Kirk Franklin, other people, other young black men, and older men who are finally speaking up about how trifling it is that you never knew your father because your mother never told who your father was, and then you died. Your mother died and never told you your father was, so you feel lost. All these kind of sacred cow things that black women do that just hurt and traumatize, and that black men have to just keep stepping over. It's like, just stop it. If you're a queen, if you're a mother, if you're a woman, you're supposed to have that nurturing and everything else. And if you don't have it, go find it. Go find it, so that can stop happening. So that pain and everything can stop happening. Like just the ego, the id, whatever it is that continues to allow you to just be like that and do like that, and and continue to shelter yourself and protect yourself. What's his name? Tim Ross has a good one on there where he talks about being abused and that he's no longer protecting his abuser. He's like, you should have thought of that when you were doing the abusing. Don't think of it now when I'm talking about it. Don't want to censor me and censor all this. You did not censor yourself, and you put yourself in this situation. So don't come talking to me when I'm talking about my life that includes such an unfortunate thing that you could not self or do what you need to do or get the help that you need to do, and you decide to sexually abuse me or do whatever to me. That's on you. That's on you. I'm naming names, addresses, and phone numbers. And you could say it's a lie. And just like you say it's a lie, I get to say it's my truth. And whatever damage is done, what about the damage that was already done to those boys? Like, take yourself out the picture and just be okay with whatever consequences you're going to get when your children start talking. Just be okay with it. Just be okay. And just like they were helpless and not in control and had nothing they can do to get away from your ass, same way now you can't get away from them. Same way now you get to lose relationships and friendships and money and different things like that, because when people find out how trifling who you really were and who you really are, you should lose those things. Your child lost them or couldn't have them because of what you did. So just let these black boys speak. Let these black men speak. Let these black grandfathers speak. Let these black great uncles and everything else, just let the men speak, and black women shut up. No one wants to hear it. No one wants to hear you say how good you were. We know. Now be good and allow someone else's story to come through. Like, what are you so afraid of if someone starts telling their story? See, when you jump in like that, I got to question it. That's when I got to get a private investigator and all that stuff going, because I'm wondering why when someone's just saying what their story is, you got to jump in and talk about how you worked 3 jobs, you took care of your kids, you did this, you did that. See, I'm going to go right to your kids and ask them, and they're going to tell me that you weren't all that. They've been protecting you. So hit dogs holler, and guilty. Guilt. That guilt comes out. You're showing yourself. You're telling on yourself. Let people tell their story. It should have nothing to do with your story. Like now, no one can say anything to me. I'm a damn good mother. No one can say nothing. Well, don't get to be a mother. My kids are grown. I'm a damn good grown girl's mother. And I go seek help at every level to be able to talk to my children the way they need to, and to hear them out or whatever, to guide and show them or whatever. Yeah, and grandmother. I'm great. I didn't get that way by ducking, diving, lying, hiding, whatever. I've had people who told me that I wasn't that bad. I didn't spank that bad. It wasn't that, and I wouldn't accept it. I would have said, I said, no. I was wrong for the simple reason, from the very first spanking I ever got, that separated me from my mom and dad, because in my soul I never understood someone hitting me that created that in this world created me. I'll never get it. I'll never get it. Don't ask me to get it. I'm not, because that's ridiculous. So my soul, the level that it was wounded was because of my act of what I knew was true, from how you treat people and your children and families and stuff like that. You just don't do that. It's just uncalled for. It's just no reason for it to be done. So don't seek for anything from me, because you can't have it. You can't. You know, it's like people are just made the way they're made, and then you want to get them to shut up when you really should be listening and humbling yourself so that you can get it to a place where it's not like that. You can't ever get that with that relationship with that person, because you're not supposed to. What you can do is whatever tribe and people start coming around you, then you can have the opportunity to share your knowledge and your growth, and perhaps you may get some little people around you who are just like, you know, they want to call you mother, they want to call you father, they want to call you uncle or auntie or big sister, whatever. You get a chance to express that love in a way that you didn't understand before, versus re-injuring and traumatizing the same person because you want to force them, or you want them, blackmail, emotional blackmail, to treat you in a way that you don't deserve, because that's not the fruit that you put out. You weren't a black queen. You weren't all those things, all those titles. You weren't. And you don't deserve to be treated like that. And after you've done damage to people, you definitely don't deserve to be treated like that. Not. And just accept it. Just accept it. It's over 8 billion people on this planet. If you want to have tribe, you can have tribe. There's someone who will accept you for what you weren't, what you learned, and what you are today. All right, I'm out. Sun's getting ready to set. This is my front yard. Had to do the work to get it. I know I shouldn't go so fast. It's just like when I see these things later on, I'm like, ow, mosquito on my back. I see these things later on, it's like, wow, you're going so fast. Just go pan around slowly. Don't make people's heads spin. All right, I was able to get it out. Okay, love you, black men. I have four black grandsons. Love them all. Love them all. Love them all. Well, one is half. Don't want to take away from anyone's race or whatever. But I have four grandsons. And my oldest grandson, I enjoy speaking to him about what his mother wasn't and this and that. I enjoy that he trusts me enough and loves me enough that he can speak his truth and know that that's my daughter. I'm always going to stand up for my daughter. At the same time, I value that he can talk to me about my daughter and we can work through some of this stuff together. Because, I'm not covering her sin. I'm not covering anyone's sin. I didn't cover mine. So I'm not covering yours. Okay, I'm out. Wholeness.